Hello, I am Michael Snow, and as most of you know, Memorial Day is a time to remember those who died while serving in our country's armed forces. Today, with gratitude, thankfulness, and respect, I am interviewing Mr. Luther Walton as Pleasant Grove Baptist Church in Coalfield, Tennessee honors him for his service to our country in both the United States Army and Navy. How are you, Luther?
Fine.
First question, were you drafted or did you enlist in the armed forces?
In the Army, been a long time. 1938, I volunteered for the Army.
Okay.
And went up to the unit. The guy come down and talked, and I was 17. I wasn't old enough to go, myself. And my sister came over and signed. Now they come out, the Army man come out and got me. Boy, I really thought I was something. I got in that Army car, it olive drab, had official unit. I just couldn't get over it. And he interviewed me and said, "You want to go into the Army? Why do you want to go?" I said, "I am so tired of being hit in the back of the head, wood on my back and water in my eyes." Uncle and aunt, well, they weren't the best to you, and I probably deserved some of it and probably didn't.
Do you recall what year that was when you had this meeting with the Army?
I went in August the 16th, 1940 is when I enlisted into the Army. That's when he put on my papers. Rode a big bus to South Carolina. And then from there down to the boat dock. And they put me and 18 more boys on board. And I said, "Where am I going?" "You have enlisted in Panama in the 33rd Infantry Division, Fort Clayton Canal Zone," which I knowed nothing about that. But I soon found out. I don't know why it did, but it took about 6 or 7 days. And we got down in Canal Zone. So I wound up at Fort Clayton Canal Zone in the city of Balboa. And I didn't like it. My duties down there was getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, getting dressed, make my own bed, fold my own clothes, put them all up. Then they would take us either on a hike or either drill instruction.
So how long was your time in the Army? How much time did you actually serve?
I spent 2 years and 9 months. Later on in the Army to join Transit Guard. It's like an MP, only what you did, you had a post on board a ship so that nobody wouldn't blow the canal up. You was on 48 hours, off 48, and then you got back on.
Yeah, so did you stay your whole 2 years and 9 months in the Army? Were you at Panama the entire time?
Yes. One morning before Reveille, we was out there and there's blowing the trumpet, Reveille. And all of a sudden, attention, okay, you had your rifle, and all that stuff. So we had to come to attention, and I kind of looked up that way, and there was some man with a big overcoat on, and there was one soldier on each side. It had straps, and what they were doing was holding him so he wouldn't fall down. And guess who it was? President Roosevelt.
Really?
Had come to inspect the troops, and I was just, in other words, I just thought to myself, he won't stop here, and talk to me. I ain't nothing. Guess, he stopped and looked me straight in the eye. And you went by number, 708-3557. He gave me that number, which, I had to pull up from parade rest to salute. and he asked me where I was from and what my intentions were, and I told him the best I could. I was shaking, so I didn't know what to do. But now that was really something.
That is something.
So we come back. They shipped us back. They paid us big money, $85. I really thought I had a lot of money back then. That's what my discharge, called for, and coming back. When I got back, so I stayed at 4 of my half-sisters' houses, here and there, until World War II come up.
Talk to me a little bit about the Navy.
On October the 28th, 1943, I was drafted into the United States Army. I went down to Chattanooga and they said, now you've been in the Army and you've already had your training and you hadn't been out of service in the Army very long. How would you like to try the Navy? I said, well, if that's what you got for me, that's what I'll take, because I was tired of ground pounding. So I went into the Navy and went to San Diego, California, and it took us 18 days to go from Chattanooga to San Diego, California. At the naval base, and they said, you don't have to take any training because you've already had your training. They was getting ready to send me out. I went down to the Marine base, and they said, how would you like I said, oh no.
No submarine, right?
I don't want no submarine if I can help it. I got assigned to the USA Chateau Theory. Is a troop ship, but you deliver troops from one island to the other. And I don't know where I was at, because they wouldn't tell us gunners. All they told us to do, watch your back. Something happened. Shrapnel hit me in the leg, and Navy did me a jam-up job. At sea, they operated on my leg and put 16 and 16. So that's that many screws. A pin through here and somebody else's kneecap, but I got a scar from right there to right here, where they opened it up. At the naval base, they said, how would you like to go home? And I said, oh, I'd love that. Are you going to get a discharge? No, we got you a job. So they sent me from San Diego Naval Hospital, January the 10th, 1944. I went to work at WWII with Tennessee Eastman Corporation.
What did you do at WWII? What was your job?
Okay, they put me in as a trainee. They sent me downstairs, left me on the concrete floor. All the thing that I would do, the lady in the booth, she'd say number 14. Number 14, go to number 32 and change it over from the roughing header to the finishing, I won't go into, a bunch of that. They might not like it if I did. So I'd go over there on the wall, there's the buttons, and it had my little card told me which buttons to punch and how long you had to wait for it. So that was my job for a long time.
What hours did you work?
Worked from 8 till 4 o'clock. I worked 18 months with a sore leg, and then I got discharged. That's how come that I stayed so long, But they still left it on my Navy record. I had learned so much of what all the operations in the buildings and all. Then I got set up to supervisor. They called them supervisor.
That's right.
I had 64 people that I had got retired in 1988.
Well, Luther, it's been a pleasure for you to share with us today on your experiences in the Armed Forces for the United States of America. One other question I do have for you is, I think your birthday's coming up in June. I think it's June 17th.
June 17th.
How old will you be?
I'll be 95.
95. Well, Luther, I appreciate it, and thank you for sharing, sir.
Okay, and I really thought that I wouldn't like it, but I really enjoyed it.